Are you ready? Let's make some jam. See what? I can't hear you.
In this lecture we will install Oracle VirtualBox. Actually, there's nothing complicated in this process, however, I still kindly ask you to carefully follow the instructions. You see, there are many different versions of VirtualBox. By the time of filming of this video tutorial, the most recent version of VirtualBox was 6.1.4. Please use specifically this version as it works perfectly with Kali Linux 2020.
Impossible.
While I'm sure that Oracle will do their best to keep everything in check, previously I had issues with VirtualBox updates. Namely, some features of Kali Linux stopped working after updating VirtualBox. Professionals deal with these issues quite easily, but for a beginner a slight deviation and unexpected error might be a bit frustrating. Thus, please download the version that I indicated in the resources of this lecture. Installation is pretty straightforward. Firstly, you will click on the Oracle VirtualBox download link in the resources of this lecture. A new page will open where you'll see an article devoted to VirtualBox. Scroll down to choose the right version of your primary OS.
What?
Simply click it, and download will begin. After the download finishes, install it.
Let's start over. One more time.
That's it. VirtualBox is installed. Now we need to install extensions for VirtualBox. This is mandatory for some additional features to run, for instance USB drives. You can get extensions for VirtualBox on the same page. Just click on the link and download will commence. Once the download finishes, be sure to install it.
We're almost there.
As you see, VirtualBox extensions are already installed on my computer. In your case, you should click on the Install button. I will also reinstall them, as this won't do any harm. At this point, we need to enable NAT network from the preferences of VirtualBox. NAT network means that all virtual machines will be placed in a single local area network. Click on File, Preferences, choose Network and click on this tiny icon. Then click OK. To find out more about this, visit the link NAT network in the resources of this lecture. Okay, we're almost finished. There's only one step remaining, but this step will be the hardest. You need to make sure that CPU virtualization is enabled in your BIOS. Accessing BIOS is very different from one computer to another. Your best bet would be to Google this part. I will show you how to do it on my Intel and AMD computers. However, your case might be slightly different, so don't shy away from Google if my instructions don't work for you. I'll start with Intel CPUs. To enter BIOS, firstly you need to turn off your computer. Then turn it on and press Delete key right after the screen lights up. Other computers might require F12 key. You can easily find this information by googling how to access BIOS on, and then you write brand, computer name and serial number of your computer. This is what BIOS looks like. Here you need to find option Intel Virtualization Technology, or perhaps it will be VTX. Find it and enable it if it isn't already. Don't forget to save settings as you quit BIOS. AMD's virtualization technology is called AMD-V. To enable it, you will also need to access BIOS following the same instructions as in case of Intel. Then you need to find option AMD-V and enable it. When done, save changes and quit BIOS. The procedure that I showed you would be similar on the majority of computers. However, if you didn't manage to do it the way I did it, please post a question under this lecture and indicate your CPU. Our operator will help you as soon as possible. If you're interested, you can also find more information about BIOS in the lecture resources. Just click on the link about BIOS. Okay, this lecture is finished. We will see each other in the next one.
Rewind.